Hello, my friends. How are you? How are you guys? Welcome back to the Red
Hello,
X with some panel guests. Who do we have here on this beautiful evening out of my hotel room? I'm going to tell you something about this in a minute. Adrienne. Oh, by the way, thank you so much for all my to all my moderators for being here at any time, at any hour of the day. I know many of you are from Europe and on the same time zone as me. So thank you so much. Adrienne, Allison, Annie, two Annies here. Annie Painter and Annie Steer. Brenda, Broke Till Friday, Christine, Craftastic, Debbie, Dawn, of course, Gift of Time, Good Night Owl, Iconic Raider, Jody, hi Jody, Catherine, Kay, Kelly Searches Answers, also a panel guest today, Kerstin, Maureen, Mercy Joke, Michelle, Miss Jones, Nono, Penny, Rachel, Rita, Smiley Face, Stefania, Tina, Truth Seeker, Tumbleweed, Tony, and everybody else I forgot. How are you guys? Welcome, Catherine C., Don Joe, Kelly, and Dave G.
hello.
Hello. So, I'm greeting you tonight from my hotel room in beautiful Berlin. As you guys know, I start the data school tomorrow, and I'm gonna be having school till Thursday, and on Friday there's a test. If I make that test, I'm gonna be accepted in school, into that school in March 2023. So wish me luck and fingers crossed that I'm gonna be making this. All right, what are we gonna do today? I was thinking, do we do like a certain topic, or let's just meet up to talk? And we decided, well, let's just meet up to talk. And some great findings came up, not my findings, but one of Kelly's findings and one of Catherine's findings. And to make it short, because Dave G has to leave us in a minute, I'm gonna be starting with that, with that one. So he wants to say a little something about that as well. Um, Catherine found it's about the handbag, right? Shanann's handbag. So Catherine found NA standing in front of the garage when Chris wasn't there yet. So sometime before 2. And she found something interesting, and that is NA saying her purse needs to go in. Or what else was it, Catherine?
I
What
believe she said her purse needs to go in or her purse has to go in. I can't figure out that one word, needs to or has to, but either way, she mentions the purse needs to go in.
Okay, and that was before Chris was
This is
actually
when
home.
Coonrod is walking up to NA is talking to Nick and Nate behind her car, and Coonrod is going up to ask her for, I believe it's Chris's phone number. And just as he's walking up, you can hear her. It's very faint, but she said her purse needs to go in.
Yeah. Thank you,
Either
Annie.
way, why would she even mention that?
Right. Gift of time. She's talking to Nate and her son.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna stop my camera real quick and share the screen. You really gotta listen. I mean, I play it 2 or 3 times so you guys actually can hear it. It's hard to hear,
Hmm.
and as you know me, I never hear anything or see anything. But this one I heard. So let's check this out. Um, there's a screenshot. Oh, shout out to the channel. What is it? True Crime Case Histories. This is just a little video Catherine screen recorded, but the channel is visible, so credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
So now listen to this.
What's Shannon's number?
It's 9.
Did you guys catch it? So she's standing right there. Let's do it again.
What's
I think it sounds like her purse needs to go.
I know the last word is in.
In?
I believe so.
Okay, let's listen again to
I've
this.
got my volume all the way up, so
Yeah, I would love to have my volume all the way up, but I have neighbors. So,
What's Shannon's number?
yeah, I think she says her purse needs to go in.
yep, that's the way I took it. I've listened to it on 3 different headsets with my
What's
volume up.
Again.
What's Shannon's number?
It's really weird. I mean, what is he what are they talking about before that? I can't remember.
What's
Something about banging on the door.
So that would mean she knew about the purse. Hold on.
Mhm.
One more time.
What's Shannon's number?
Wow. That is weird.
He says something like banging on the door and she wouldn't answer.
So this is what I heard too, Corinna. I heard her purse is there. Her purse is in. Her purse needs to go in. Oh, absolutely. Gift of time, lying to officers. That's not the only occasion she does that. I hear her purse. She was talking with what's his face? Nate and her son.
And this is off Coonrod's body cam.
Coonrod's body cam.
Yeah.
I hear her purse and can't make out the rest. Sounds like he says bag. She went and found the bag and phone. Right. So Dave G, before you gotta leave.
Yeah, I'm actually getting in the truck now. But no, when I first came, I always said that she was in the house between 8 and 8:30 that day,
Right.
and then put the latch on, called Sandy, and all that other neat stuff. And if you look back to, excuse me, if you
Take
look
your
back
time, no
to,
worries.
yeah, when Nicholas found the cell phone inside the sofa under 3 minutes of being in the house, and then him being caught on body cam putting the purse in the kitchen.
Right. And also remember, after that, Chris said in his interview in the transcript, I found her phone. It was just laying there, right?
That's right. That
So
with that purse too, we don't find out anything until NA does the interview with Nicholas, and that's when she actually says that it was on the floor all the time by
Right.
the office door, and she never saw it.
Well, I didn't see a purse on. She said it was just there, like.
That's right. And if you look at that, Kumrad actually opens up that door, so there was no way that the purse was ever there.
I've looked at the
Yeah.
footage. There's no purse on that floor. There's one in the chair by the door, but that's not the purse she was carrying in that night.
Right. You're my sunshine. Question: why do you think NA wrote "I forgive you" on her hand? Well, it was a weird time, to post that. I give her that, but I heard that she was in some sort. I don't know if that's a fact, and I don't know if that's true. That's only what I heard back then. That she was in trouble with her ex-husband or ex-boyfriend, and her posting that has something to do with their relationship. I'm not sure if that's true, but yeah, like I said, that's what I heard. So, no clue. Forgive you on hand because she let her walk in the house on her own. Could be.
Yeah, so if you go back to like the original, when I first came, like I think it was 2.5, 3 years ago, is when I was talking about the purse and the cell phone. And if you go back, if she went into the house, if NA went through the front door between 8 and 8:30, saw nobody was there. She was there by herself at the time because
Mm-hmm.
the 360 doesn't come in until Nicholas is actually there with her.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, she would have called Sandy, because like Sandy never called Shanann once, but yet she's calling Primrose School asking if the girls are there. How would she know at 8:30 in the morning that the girls weren't there? So if you look at it that way, then she latches that front door and goes out the garage door because at 9:10 there was a Vivint alert showing the garage door had opened. So then at 9 o'clock, you actually have a 911 call placed from NA, and then they transferred her over to Frederick. And inside, if you go back, it's hard to find now, but it has in there where Dave went back and talked to the dispatcher.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a month or more later. And she said, well, I may have talked to Nicole Atkinson. Well, right there's a give me because she wasn't going by Atkinson, she was going by Utah still. So
Right.
everything, no matter what anybody says or thinks, we're not bashing anybody, but that more or less seals the deal that NA was in that house. And if you go to NK's interview, you have her dad saying, what about the 9 o'clock alert? Well, the only way that she or he would know about that is if NK was in the house at the same time, or NK was actually talking with either Sandy or with NA. So
Right.
that goes back to you got Frank Rusick saying, I may have FaceTimed the girls and they were eating cold pizza.
But
Well,
he
that's where,
hasn't though. Well,
no,
yeah, in the morning he has,
that was in
but
the
not
morning.
at 5.
But when she went to go, or when he went to go check on that to make sure what time it was,
She
Sandy
deleted.
had deleted it. So why is she deleting
Mhm.
stuff off her phone? You
Right.
know, so, and seriously, um, I don't know. There's a lots of things I can say, but I can't without the proof. So I'm just going to stick my foot in it for a little while until we have more proof on what's going on. But I do have to thank these ladies for finding that because I don't know how many times I listened to it without earbuds and
Yeah,
missed
you
it.
gotta
So
re-listen to some things, and then some new stuff comes up. Well, I still hear stuff in his interviews where I'm like, what did he just say? You know?
that's right. Yeah. That's the same thing as reading. A lot of people don't even know what's inside the discovery, but it seems each time I go through it, I find something else that I've missed the time before. So
Yeah,
it is important not to just listen to different channels and go by the gospel of what they're saying. Just keep an
right.
open mind and listen to what people are being, like is actually being said and what they can actually prove.
Absolutely. We have another guest at the scene with Haley V. Hi,
Hey everyone.
how are you?
Hi. Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, really good. So yeah, no, just wanted to kind of come up and I mean, God, we just can't stay away from this case, can we? You
No.
know, it is so complex. The more it goes on, the more complex it gets, and as much as, and I do try and really kind of cover a lot of other things, but always keep coming back to this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Mm.
crazy, especially, you listen to interviews or you listen to some body cam and then you don't for a few weeks and then you go back and then you hear everything completely different.
You really do. And like Dave G was just saying, and I love you, Dave. I love your voice and oh my God. Anyway, the yeah, like Dave said, every time that I listen, I probably listen to, you know, quite a bit each week, but I always find that I take something different from it, or I hear something that I didn't hear before. It's like, you know, when you just think that you've heard it all, but you just
Yeah.
never do. You just never do. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, never ending.
It's crazy. Okay, Good Night Owl wants to listen to the little video again. Okay, let's listen again.
What's Shannon's number?
Okay, Nate, I think I got it. Nate says something about banging on the door, right, Catherine? And then she goes, her purse, something about her purse. Hold on, again. The police were banging on the door and she won't answer, is what he says. Am I right?
Yeah.
The police were banging on the door and she won't answer.
You're right, an answer. Yeah.
So isn't that really weird? I thought Coonrod was the only and first one arriving at the house. So why is Nate saying to NA, the police were banging on her door and she wouldn't answer?
Yeah.
See, that's odd too, because remember, there was a 9 o'clock call, 911 call.
Right.
But yet, NA never, ever, ever talks about it. And even when she was in her interview, they asked, "Did you call 911?" And she said, "No." She called the regular line. So, but then again, with NA, sorry, she's not a hero. She was actually forced to call the police. Otherwise, Casey was going to call herself. Even Sandy was telling her to call the police. And it's like, she didn't want to get involved with anything, even though, like, when they went to interview her again, she says, "Well, am I going to be arrested?" Like, what the heck? Why would you say that unless you're hiding something?
Yeah, exactly.
But wasn't
So-
there an alarm going off? Because Nick was saying how loud the alarm was.
Yeah. And I mean, there's definitely an alert at 9:10, right? So, but why is Nate not saying anything to anyone ever?
Well, that goes with NA saying that she backed the car up to the garage door, and Nick got on the trunk of the car and could see the car seats that you can't see unless you open up the car door. But the whole thing with all that too is Nate would have had that on camera, but yet we never seen any footage of that on camera. So is
know,
that
it's
just another
amazing,
white
huh?
lie?
And also, what I was just saying in our little chat previously, the picture of the flip-flops in the digital discovery is the only one, well, other than, a few unrelevant or not relevant photos that has no metadata, right? So what if this picture of the flip-flops was taken before 9 a.m.?
Right.
Right.
And then she put down the latch on the door?
Yes, because Rourke said that's what sealed the deal, is that he did it, because there's no way that anybody could get in or get out unless they had a garage door opener.
Yeah.
So right then and there, like when they did the wellness check there, and after that, they said to hit the garage door opener to see how long it could take to get out, and they had enough time to get in or out if they wanted. So
Oh man, I'm glad we re-listened to this.
Yeah.
So thank you, Good Night Owl, because now we live catch something different again,
Yeah.
and we just listened to it like 10, 15 times, and none of us catched it. But let's listen again real quick. Where is it? No, that's not it.
But doesn't when the house alarm goes off, doesn't the cops are supposed to automatically go out there anyways? 'Cause-
No, it actually goes to Chris's phone. Same thing as when somebody goes to that front door. That's another thing. If we ever got to see the footage that Rourke said that we're not going to get because it's not in the best interest of the public.
So
So
Mhm.
what does that mean? That means somebody else was there or caught on camera going in the house.
yeah.
Hmm.
And what they did give us, it took them 6 months to release it, which has no
Right.
timestamp or nothing on it. So
So who disarms the alarm?
Chris
Chris.
can do it by like on his phone.
Really?
It's like when somebody walks up and trips the camera on that front door camera, he can actually hear who it is and see who it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's another thing. Sorry. Um, she was house sitting or theater sitting, right?
Hmm.
Many, many times. And so she was when they were, when Chris was the last week in North Carolina. So I think that she has admin access to their Vivint,
Definitely.
so she can turn on and off the alerts on her own.
Yeah. But I don't know, Dave. You know when they're saying about the alarm going off, I'm not sure if it's an actual alarm. I think it might just be that he gets a message on his phone, so he gets an alert, rather than maybe there's some confusion about what is an alert and what is the alarm.
Well, no, Nick said the alarm was so loud it would wake them up.
Well, I thought they said if the alarm had have gone off, then she would have woke. So I don't. Yeah, that's just a bit confused, isn't it?
Hmm. Yeah, Mercy Choke, you're right. The Vivint alert was for the mudroom door into the garage, not the garage door to the driveway outside. So how'd she get outside? So either through the back or the front door?
See, they can actually go through that basement fire escape too. The one that Chris
Yeah,
said that he used all the time for
yeah,
when Shanann was gone for that 5 weeks. Because he
Yeah.
parked Lexus down the block, and
yeah.
that's how he went in and out. The only time was when NK went over there and he had to talk her off the ledge. To me, it sounded
Mm-hmm.
like that NK had parked her Forerunner inside the garage. So that's why Nate was able to hear them arguing and thought it was Shanann. But he had to redact it after he found out that Shanann was in North Carolina. So
I
Right.
think you're right though, Dave. I think it had to be the side or the back,
Uh-huh.
and then
Yeah.
that's why we had all that distraction stuff at the front.
So could it be, in your opinion, you guys, that, and we're just theorizing here, um, that she went in, an alert obviously happened. She took a picture of the flip-flops and then left through the. See, that's another thing. We don't have all the alerts. We don't have a list of what his Vivint was alerting this morning. We
Right. And
only
we
have
definitely
bits and
don't have
pieces.
all of Nate's CCTV footage either.
Exactly.
I know.
So could it be a possibility that she was in the house, took a picture of the flip-flops while she was in the house, left through the front door? I don't know.
Mm.
well, she wouldn't be able to go through the front door if the latch was on it, though.
Yeah, so that's why
You
I
know,
think it had to be the
Oh
side or
yeah,
the back.
that's true.
the only
Yeah,
way that she could is if somebody else was in the house and put the latch on the door.
Well, I did construction for a lot of years, and on Fridays I would have to go lock up these homes that we had been working on. And some of the homes had alarms and the garage doors up, and what you do is you set the alarm, and you have about 30 seconds to leave the house. And what I would do is make sure everything was locked, set the alarm, and hit the garage door button to lower the garage, and you can actually make it across the garage and jump the beam, and the door will still close.
Okay.
So they could have left that way. But again, we don't have all of Nate's footage. I mean, we don't have NA showing up, looking into the garage windows as she says she did, and the whole shot. So
I
there's a
know.
lot of footage missing.
And just
Yeah.
the fact that we've never seen it tells you that there must be so much there. Because if they had nothing, they
They
just
would show
release
it.
it all. Yeah, they'd just show it, wouldn't they?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
they
Yep.
have it for a reason.
Look at what TJ had found. Who in the heck was it? That was Tammy Lee in their interview with, how would you put it, with Chris, where they
Yeah.
put these little circles over their mouth so you couldn't hear them talking. You could only
Yeah.
hear Chris's voice.
God, I know. Oh,
Alison, I try to request, but the one and only answer I get with whatever I request, even if it's, phone records or something, it's not in the public's interest. That's
Yeah.
the standard email you get. So I don't think we will ever see anything. Ever.
no, I don't. I don't. And that's even if it's not been destroyed or lost.
Well, one thing with Chris's phone, Ronnie tried getting it back, and Rourke, that's the only time Rourke had ever talked to Ronnie, and he said no, in case there's an appeal. So, other than that, they could have burned the phone. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But whatever they're hiding and whoever they're protecting, we'll probably never know unless somebody gets called into court.
Yep.
And then Chris has to have a choice, either testify or he could just shut up and, because if he breaks his plea agreement, he's out of his Club Med and he's back in Colorado. So
I know. Well, I think they should put him back to Colorado and he should stay there until he tells the truth. He should be made. I wish it was. That's the thing with the plea deals, isn't it? Because we don't have that here in the UK. Here in the UK, he would have had to have faced a jury. He would have had.
Yeah.
He would have been in that Old Bailey, and he would have had to face the jury. We would have listened to all the witness statements. It would have been a completely different scenario.
Approach and scenario.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we don't, in Europe, generally, you don't have plea agreements.
No.
And especially if you are an accomplice, you don't just cut a deal and get out of this situation. No way.
No, I mean, in the UK, it's so different like that. You just, I think to us, we look at it like you're bargaining with people's lives.
I'm waiting for it. Oh, I'm going to have to let you guys go. Have a good live and love you guys. And
Okay, Dave.
All right.
Take care.
And we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Take care.
Dave.
See you later.
Bye,
Bye.
Dave. So in the UK, I'm definitely, I think we definitely see it as, but you're bargaining with people's lives, and I mean, we just do it so differently.
Yeah, problem is with this case that there are so many people worrying about covering up their own secrets. They're more concerned with looking after themselves, even though their crap is irrelevant. That's so true.
Yes.
It's so true.
That's so true.
I know, because everyone played a part in this, where to different extents, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, they are all kind of, even if it's Trent, Bold, and NK, they all somehow connected. Maybe it's a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, but they somehow if you put it on a whiteboard, you would see the connection. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, even if you look at the MLM, you know,
Yeah.
just everything, everybody was just in this kind of huge, kind of mixed up ball of string. Do you know what I mean? All intertwined, all kind of, what if one fell, then kind of a load would. It was, everyone had staked money on stuff. It just was, it's just so complex because of that. I've never known a case that's involved so many different people.
Right. Dawn, your turn. I saw you want to share the screen. Hold on.
Yay.
Yes, I tried something very quickly. I basically I isolated.
Ooh, this is what I like. Okay.
I isolated the portion of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Applied a few filters to increase intelligibility of the
Oh
voice.
my God, I have no clue what you're talking about.
I enhanced the audio.
Okay, in other words, I enhance the audio. Right, okay.
I will try to play it in a loop because this is the easiest method to understand what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, brilliant.
Let's hope that the volume is good enough. I will give it a try. How is it?
I don't hear anything.
No.
No? Just a second.
Can you make it a little bit louder? What is she saying?
Oh,
I hear her purse needs to go.
what do you hear?
Her purse needs to go.
Her
Needs to
purse
go.
needs to go?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Interesting.
Can you play it again?
Yes.
can you slow it down a little bit? Is that possible?
Sounds like her purse is here.
Or draw? I don't know if I hear draw.
Take your time, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have that plugin installed for to enable speed variation, but
I was just going to say that's really interesting because a couple of people on in chat are saying that they're hearing the purse is on the floor, and I thought I heard draw, but floor makes sense if she saw it.
Which would mean she was in the house.
Possibly, or could she have seen it through a window? Because we know there's that dodgy moment, don't we? when
Yeah.
the purse is found, it wasn't on the counter, but then it was.
Yep.
So that would kind of tie in with what we're hearing. Maybe.
But if she says her purse is on the floor, then that would definitely mean that she was in there before 9.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it could be that she was in there before 9, but also, is there a possibility could she have seen it through a window on the floor?
I guess if it was by her suitcase, maybe.
But then, like you said, even if it was on the floor, even if she would have still had to have been in the house to have
Right.
moved it.
So somebody said on my last live stream, I can't remember who it was. How about, or what if NA was in the house all night? And that really made me think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I remember them. People were saying that.
Yeah.
Either way, why is Nate saying the cops banged on her door and she wouldn't answer?
Do we know for definite? We don't know for definite that the police did go there that morning at 9.
That's the thing we don't know.
We don't.
Yeah. So there's no police records of that. It's just Nate that says that he saw that. Is that right?
That would actually go into my theory then.
What's that theory?
Yeah, which is
That there was a couple cops involved.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know. But with all the footage, that's where it's at with me.
I agree with Kelly on that. We don't have
Really?
proof, but we're looking into it.
Who would they have been? But then who would they have been linked to?
Who would be involved,
So
Kelly?
if the police were involved, why were
There's certain officers that I think were involved. And I don't know how much involved, but
yeah.
with the footage, and them trying to hide it, and the people I've seen, they're there. The police that not all of them, a couple.
Okay.
No matter if the purse was here or gone, how should she know? Exactly. How would she know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my point exactly. Whether it
Mm.
was in the house or she had it or it needed to go in.
Yeah.
I mean, why would she even bring that subject up? That would have
What-
been the least
yeah.
thing from my mind at that time.
Whatever
And
way
that-
you look at it, she had to have. It sounds to me that she had to have been in there.
Right. That ties in so good into what I'm going to show you next
Oh God.
when Dawn is finished.
Yay. Well, so far, people have mentioned, the floor, the
Yeah.
floor, the door, the drawer, but all of those mean that she had to have been in there.
All right. While Dawn is working on the audio, I got to show you something different. You finished, Dawn? You just give us a shout when you are, okay?
Yes, I will.
Okay. So, we were talking a little bit this week. Dawn, can you mute yourself, please? I have a slight echo. Thank you. So we were talking in our moderator chat about this stuff, and Kelly said she found something. Like you were looking for a device or something, Kelly, right? Like a red dot or something?
Yeah, there's always there's
So we were going through the footage of Officer James and Sergeant Biggs. And I was thinking, That is really weird. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Just give me 1 second. Going to share the screen. That's another thing, because it would actually tie in with what we just found. So where is it? Hold on 1 second.
Actually, James is one of the ones in Coonrod.
James, and that's Bake's body cam. That is right here.
Oh no, yeah, but the one that walks off to the side of the house, I'm pretty sure that's James.
Right. So when Sergeant Bakes approaches Chris in front with the search warrant, you know, when or with the consent form to give consent to search the house, he's approaching him and the audio is not on. It only turn on their body cam system. The audio will only turn on after 30 seconds. Once it's on, you're gonna hear a little beep beep, right? So the officer knows, or the sergeant knows, now the audio is on. He says something very, very, very crucial to me. And we had to re-listen over and over and over. But I think this has something to do with what we just found. Like the cops were banging on her door and somebody was there 9:10 a.m. The alert and everything kind of like ties together with this. So he's approaching him, and I'm just gonna play it and then I will elaborate on it.
Perfect.
So no audio until it comes up. He's turning the audio on now. Any second. So he's talking, points towards the side, points towards the back of the house. The back. See that? Now he's turning on the audio.
Back
Beep,
here?
beep.
Yeah. There's a driveway from the townhome that backs right up to our fence.
Now, would you think that's a female friend or a male friend?
Honestly, I'm not going to put anything by it right now.
Did you hear what he said? He's explaining something, right? He's explaining something, points towards the back of the house, the side road, and all that. And then Sergeant Bakes asks, so is it a female or a male friend? And Chris says, I cannot talk about it right now. And this is the very moment freaking Kessinger is calling him. I'm gonna play it again, and I don't see chat at the moment, just so you know. I'm gonna play it again and watch his body language as well. Points towards the back of the house, to the side of the house, but mainly in the back.
Back here?
Yeah. There's a driveway from the townhome that backs right up to our fence.
Now, would you think that's a female friend or a male friend?
Honestly, I'm not going to put anything by it right now.
Oh,
Or he says, I'm not gonna say anything about it right now.
yeah. Why is this the first time that I'm seeing this?
That's exactly what I meant, because we have to go through everything from zero again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know, with bits and pieces we find and discover, we can put it all together as a whole.
You
The
know,
more
I've
you listen to it, you know?
yeah. I've often thought that we need to go back to the beginning with this, you know.
Yeah.
And seeing this tonight has really kind of, made that kind of clear, because I thought I'd seen everything there was to say like I guess we all have. But and I do know we see things all the time, but that's quite a big thing to see that.
Yes.
That's huge.
And I so wish that he would have turned on the audio earlier.
And why didn't he? Because
Right.
we've seen
Because
every other copper.
it takes 30 seconds until the audio comes up on that body cam.
But don't they normally switch it on before they get out of the car?
No.
No.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. We see that throughout the body cam recordings,
Okay.
that sometimes they do and sometimes they don't.
Yeah. So that wasn't necessarily purposely kind of done.
Yeah, but I really want to know what he was saying.
I know.
He was pointing to the right. He was towards Nate's house, right?
Yeah.
Possibly saying something about cameras. We don't know. And then pointing in the back. Let's listen again. Wonder where Mr. Miller was that day? Oh yeah, me too. Let's do that again. And it's also important, I mean, for me, it's important that I watch the body language as well. I don't know how about you guys, but
yeah, I do as well. But we need a really good lip reader.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, here goes again. And what I just wanted to say as well, Chris, when he gets nervous, he bites his lips, right? He presses his lips like, So watch it. Watch this. See that?
Yeah, it's that face.
Yeah. Same expression as in the porch interview.
And it's the same face that he does when he's looking at the TV in Nate's house.
Back here.
Yeah, there's a driveway from the townhomes that backs right up to our fence.
Now, would you think that's a female friend or a male friend?
Honestly, I'm not gonna put anything by it right now.
Wow.
Honestly, I'm not gonna. Then she calls him. Say anything about it right now.
But this is proof right here. He can stand up for himself.
What's that?
This is proof right here. He can stand up for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was it? If she wouldn't have interrupted, maybe he would have said something. But he definitely said something about the back of the house, right? And that a friend of hers or something. Because then Sergeant Bakes asks, a female or a male friend?
Could it have been that that the copper kind of saw someone go round the back, and he was kind of saying to Chris, "What who's that? Who was that?" And that's it's kind of thrown me, really, that bit.
Right. It like I said, it all kind of like ties in, and then they never talk about this again.
No.
Yeah, we need a lip reader.
We do.
Exactly.
This is a new Chris Watts that we see. Narcissistic Watts. Very happy that he can fool the police. And for the first time, I see him standing up for himself.
Yeah. And I think if the situation would have allowed it, then he would have probably said something. I'm going to play a little bit more because chat wants to hear what's next.
All right. Well,
see this lip smacking?
Yeah.
When the officer says, well, all right. And then something else that's weird to me. Sergeant Bakes abruptly stops asking him about the back or the female or male friend. And this to me, I mean, I know it wasn't rehearsed in any shape or form, but this to me just sounds rehearsed. Now listen to this.
Joshua, let us go through your house.
No problem. I'm
Definitely not in there.
no. Hey, hold on one second. Call you back. Bye.
Was it in the car? So she came out the door then?
Lips.
Yeah.
Lips.
What's your name again?
I'm Sergeant Bake.
Sergeant Bay. Good to meet you.
See? Sergeant Bake says, definitely not in the house. No. What's your name again? It's so weird. It just sounds weird to me. Well, then thank you for let us search your house. It's so weird.
It sounds like Chris is trying to remember all the names that. But
Yeah.
across over there at Nate's truck, there's a light shining right where that officer is. Is that?
Neither of us do. They're all back in North Carolina. We moved here back in 2012.
Also, Coonrod was there in the morning, and then they arrived a few hours later. So Sergeant Bake saying, definitely not in the house. Well, Coonrod already searched the house. So Shanann obviously is not in the house. That's also really weird. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
what's that?
No, I was just like, yeah, why? That just seems like a irrelevant statement to make.
Nervous, yeah, Tony. He's wearing a wire, possibly. Okay, I'm gonna end that and gonna go back to Dawn's.
Yes, let's try again at a slower speed.
Okay. I don't hear anything.
No.
Sorry.
Her purse is on the floor.
It's on the floor. Wow, on the floor.
I actually think I heard that.
Her purse is on the floor. Her purse is on the floor.
I heard it.
Yeah. It's so clear.
It literally gives me goosebumps.
It does me.
Yeah, this is the best I can do for now. Indeed, I hear myself. The purse is on the floor.
Yeah.
I hear it too.
Okay, so
Wow,
that
how would she know
definitely
that?
places her in the house.
Yeah. This is huge, guys. I mean, this is like.
So what do we have? Him saying, her saying in the morning, the purse is on the floor. Then Nate saying, the cops banged on her door and she wouldn't answer.
TJ Unjustified's here. She needs
Hi,
a link.
Kim. Come
Hi,
on up on
Kim.
panel. Send you the link. Here you go. Got it. I mean, everyone can join who, it's open panel night, so everyone who has to say something.
Another audio I've been listening to is in the preliminary hearing in the courtroom, Chris's appointed attorney, the shady one, and DA Rourke are whispering something about the house wasn't listed. It's a low whisper, so I don't know. I'm trying to listen to that one. It's really hard to hear.
Okay. I'm gonna show you something different, something else as well. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to show it. Can I show it, Don, what you sent to me yesterday?
What about?
The where you put that in a box, what SR said?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hold on
Yay.
1 second.
Share it.
I will. I have to ask permission. I cannot just steal somebody's stuff.
I know. Honestly, I still can't get over what we've just seen and heard.
What's that?
I said I just can't get over what we've kind of just seen and what we've heard.
Yeah.
It changes the narrative. It changes what I had in my mind.
Yeah. So we have Nate saying the cops banged on her door. She's saying the purse is on the floor. And him saying something about a friend. And I cannot talk about this right now.
But why is Chris not wanting to talk to the cops that are there?
I have no clue. I have no clue. But this again, I don't want to incriminate someone, but this again, what you see here is from the discovery. Kim, I put the link in the chat. Gonna do it again. So it states, where is it? Here, it states at 6:56 a.m. on the 15th of August, Officer Martinez, or Don, can you mute yourself real quick? Sandra Rusek saying she is the mother of Shanann. Sandra lives in NC and wants some answers now from an officer. RP said she even called the FBI this morning. So, Dawn, if you want to explain something to this.
Yes, my opinion is that Sandra is putting pressure on the law enforcement in Well County because she didn't get what she wanted. That being Chris was arrested.
So it all ties in. She is calling the cops. So he's calling NK, the last phone conversation ever in the morning. Then Sandra is calling the cops. Was it in Frederick? Who did she call even in the morning? 4 a.m. or something? Do you guys remember who she called? Was it the FBI or was it Frederick?
No, wasn't it Frederick? Because I don't know how easy is it or how difficult is it to just phone the FBI. I mean, I wouldn't even know who to call. I mean, I know I'm in the UK, but do you know what I mean? It would make more sense.
They leave their cards.
Huh. Okay. So anyway, it doesn't really fit. So she calls the cops at 4 something, telling them the watch is, she gave her a watch and all that crap, and the police tells her to leave, don't make any comments and leave Chris alone. And she was pressing that he has something to do with it, that they gotta check the GPS, and that she feels like he put them in oil or pour oil over them, right? So she gets an answer from the police saying, leave him alone, don't say anything to him, blah, blah, blah. 2 hours later, she calls the police again. Wants some answers now. Answers to what? She already had her answers. And that was leave him alone and don't, get mixed up in the investigation. It seems like she had her eyes on him from the start.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain it. I really don't, but something's not right.
Basically, she inserted herself in the investigation and is forcing an outcome.
Right. And then
Like
the other thing is, as we discussed in the last live stream, she is telling police she feels like he has this is foul play and he has something to do with it, right? So then on the other hand, though, she is on the phone with him and they talk about, oh, don't talk to the media. I think it's like some kind of a two-faced situation here. I'm calling you, be all nice, and then I stab you in the back calling the police.
Mm.
seems like they all wanted to inject themselves into this investigation for some reason.
I know, and that's what's made it all so difficult.
It's not that difficult. Why are you saying that? We are on it. Let's make the difficult possible. And talking about that, Tanya, could you please share about the private detectives? Something?
Oh, what we're looking into. Did Tanya freeze up? Oh, she'll
Yes,
be back.
a few of us are looking in detail to find the best possible team of private investigators, both in North Carolina and Colorado, to look for things for us.
We're definitely looking. We will find somebody.
Yeah, definitely.
When the official institutions of American official institutions are not doing their job, we are left with the private solution, and we have high hopes.
I'm sorry, my internet went down. I don't know how much I already said and you guys didn't hear me.
I know.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
No, you're back. Yeah, I think it was pretty quick.
Okay, all right.
We're talking about the private detectives.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I miss?
No, we talked about it, but
that we're looking into finding a private investigator.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here in the States.
Yeah, but we discussed having two, one in Colorado and one in North Carolina, because I think some stuff is connected.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll let you guys know if what we're gonna decide on how to go ahead with this. All right, let me just, before my internet went down, do you guys remember when I found that he told, where was it? Hold on. So not prepared. When he told Tammy Lee that Sandra said not to talk to anyone regarding a kidnapping. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Okay, where is it? Ah, now I got it. I'm sorry. Okay. It's so weird because this indicates to me that they had pretty normal conversations, and not like Sandra said that she's like, oh, you have something to do with this, or she's pressuring him into something. I think they had pretty normal conversations about this, right? So now let's listen to this a little bit. It's pretty hard to hear. Thank you, Nancy. Now they're coming in.
TJ, I'll be 2 seconds. I'm just
No problem.
gonna go grab something.
One of the things we were talking about is, as we mentioned yesterday, knock out the polygraph.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that today?
Okay.
Why don't we do that now?
Okay.
Get that out of the way when you're done. This is Tammy. Did you meet Tammy yesterday?
No,
Okay.
you're the only one.
This is Tammy.
Okay, how are you?
All right, so then when we're done, we'll figure out our game plan that I was talking about today.
Okay.
Does your dad have availability to use the car if you're gonna be here for like an hour or more?
Can you drive?
Oh, he can drive it, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and I'll go explain to him everything that's going on.
Okay, he will know where to go, but,
Oh, okay, well, I
well,
can,
the house, he knows how to get to the house, but if
Okay.
it's not ready, he can't go in there, but.
okay.
Does he know how to use GPS on his phone then?
Yeah, but he wouldn't know, like, you know, where else to go besides my house.
Oh, that's true.
You know, I mean, yeah, I can tell him if he gets to go to my friend's house, if,
Okay.
I'm not sure, like, I'd be here for an hour or like 4 hours.
You want me to just go talk to him?
He's talking about the Thayers. He's going to his friend's house. He spends the night at the Thayers.
And let him know when the house is gonna be ready and all that, and when he can go, because he can go grab a bite to eat or something, right?
Oh, yeah, like, if there's, everything should be open by now around here.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure,
Well-
he's been flying for like 5 o'clock East Coast time, so.
Okay, why don't we knock this out?
Okay.
I think it's the best thing to do to move past all of this. And then, I'll go talk to your dad, he'll have the keys, everything will be good.
Okay.
You have this number, can you call him when you're done?
There's like no signal on this place, so,
Oh,
As
yeah.
bad as that, that's why I couldn't talk to you earlier.
like, yeah, it was,
Between him and me, we'll figure out how to communicate best and get him where he needs to go.
okay. I've been getting text messages from like a lot of news places.
Okay.
I don't know really, like,
You know, I think that's part of maybe what we game plan today.
I mean, not just here, like today's show, or I don't like know what to do with that.
Well, I think that you certainly can do whatever you need to or want to do. But I think that after this, after we knock this out, we get back to the team and we make a plan.
If we get different like advice, like as far as like her mom says, like if it's a kidnapping, then she said not to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
If that's a kidnapping, not to talk about it to anybody. Right?
So like, I'm like torn on what to do.
I don't know what to do.
Well,
Her mom told you not to talk?
She told you not to talk?
Yeah, her mom's saying, because she was advised by someone, like police or a detective there, that like if he talks to the media, it might.
Oh, to the media, okay.
Okay, to the media. She was advised by a detective over there, you know, not to talk to the media. He's talking to he says he's getting text messages and phone calls from media. So is this, in your opinion, in you guys' opinion, two different things? When he's talking about the media, not to talk to them, and then he says kidnapping, not to talk. What do you guys think? Is it two different things in general, not to talk to the media, or not to talk to the media because this could be a kidnapping? Don, what's your opinion? Or Catherine even, or Kelly?
I think if it's a kidnapping, they're not allowed to talk about it.
Oh.
But I mean, as far as Chris up to this point, I still believe he thought the kids were alive, but he just didn't know where they were. Right up until he starts getting those text messages after Ronnie is done talking to him, his phone starts going off like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, keep in mind, after he's talking to Ronnie and he is telling them where they were, this is when she calls Lauren Arnold.
Ah, okay.
Right? So 9 minutes after he points out where they are in the tanks and in the shallow grave, she calls Lauren Arnold. He confessed to knowing where they were. So who the hell is her informant in this case? Because at this point, obviously, as we go or listen to Mr. Rusak's or Frankie's interview, Junior, they didn't know. They learned from the news.
Right.
So,
Well,
and at 6
Nicole,
p.m., there wasn't any news yet. Any media news. What were you saying, Kelly? I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, I cut you off. I didn't mean that. Sorry. No, it just popped in my head that she's been on the phone with Nicole Atkinson.
With Nicole Atkinson?
She was on the phone with her the whole time. That's who she's been. I mean, if you ask anybody, that's how everybody was getting their information, is from her.
Yeah. From Atkinson or Kessinger?
Atkinson.
Atkinson was on the phone with Sandra pretty much the whole time.
Yes.
And if you ask any of the friends, they all heard it from Nicole.
But how would Atkinson know what Chris says in this interview?
Well, she
If Atkinson
already
is
knows.
informing her.
Maybe have you seen My Theory? There were people there that day. And I don't know. I think it's whoever was there.
Dawn, can you give me a second? I gotta go somewhere real quick.
Yeah, the one I'm thinking, I have to consider that Nicole Kessinger was in a neighboring room, and they kept her as a last resort in case Chris didn't want to confess. They had already, in my opinion, the statement from Nicole Kessinger, both the FBI and the law enforcement, separate confessions. And to be even sure, they kept her for a while inside the police station. And the polygraph is just a setup, a stage. Everything is staged. We all know that it has no value in a court of law. Only gullible suspects fall for it. So that is not the main thing that made Chris Watts to confess. So
What is it? what is the main thing in your opinion?
NK was in there too, in an adjacent room.
Huh.
That's a very
Right.
good possibility.
It
Yeah.
really is.
Thank you, Amy.
So Graham and Coder were stalling with Chris.
So they were almost going back and forth, wasn't they?
I missed half of the conversation.
Oh.
So Don, can you explain for me real quick what you said?
I'm trying to put things in order in a logical manner.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying that I'm not buying the polygraph as something of any kind of importance. Although Chris failed it miserably, but they had the ace in the sleeve, NK, and shortly after, Troy McCoy.
Right. No is making a good point. Was NK watching the interview? You know what? No, that could actually be the case. We see in many cases, when they put one suspect into an interrogation room and the other one in the next interrogation room, and then they go back and forth, and then they say, "Oh, he just said you was the one involved," and the other one says, "No, that's not true because he did this and this and this and this," and they play, they play them against each other. So maybe they had her somewhere watching the interview.
Let's not forget that she was considered a victim.
Right. But why was she considered a victim? I mean, she's full of shit, first of all, and second of all, she knows.
The moment she gave a statement against Chris, she is a victim.
I have had a polygraph. It took under 30 minutes. They were slowing this all down with a huge long interview to get their drones out at Survey. Bluff Creek Studio, that's a very good observation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good observation. Yeah, they had to hold him. So you see the timestamp 10:55. I think Bluff Creek Studio is spot on with this because they had to hold him until they get the footage, because I believe by the time 10:55 they already knew where everybody was.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right?
and NK told them.
Yeah.
But they had to verify in the field.
Right, because they didn't have any charges against Chris.
Exactly.
It was only NK's word.
I think
And
as
then-
well, there's a little bit in the there's a bit of footage in the interview room which I think's really telling, and I think it might be when they're going to bring his dad into the room, and his phone goes. He picks up the phone and he kind of slumps down a little bit, and I've always felt like that was when NK or someone had told him that they were found. It was done. It was over, and I think he kind of it was like a sign of resignation from him that, oh shit, game over.
Right. Mercy Choke makes also a good point. We never actually saw the polygraph results. That's true. But they must have been very, very certain that he is taking a plea at this point. Because if they would have said, oh, we did a polygraph and he failed, even though, you cannot use it in court, but somehow it would have come out that they lied. And what happens then? I don't know. It's just
There's a few people in chat who are asking you know, in regards to the polygraph test, that, you know, it couldn't be used in court. So therefore, you know, why was he being given it? Well, we all know that, you know, what they're really looking for is his behaviour, you know, and it was dragged on, and they were getting more. She was getting him to talk, and that's what they needed him to do. So they kept him talking. They, you know, elongated the whole testings kind of saga, and really that's what it was about. It was about them, you know, seeing Chris Watts and watching his behaviour. They were analysing him that whole time.
Right.
So they wasn't. The polygraph was really just it really, what they knew, it wasn't going to go to court. They knew it couldn't be used in court, so it wasn't used for that purpose.
No questions about the kids. They thought the kids would be with Shanann. I don't understand that. Because I do believe at this point they already knew that they were dead, to
Yeah.
be honest. So I don't think that they were, and with Sandra pressuring them, you know, oh, he did something, he did something, he did something. I think they already knew that they were dead, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Polygraph is done to narrow out suspects. Polygraph can be cheated and can be used in court. K9 is done the same way in most cases also. That's true because every dog reacts differently.
Mm.
A polygraph is nothing more than intimidation tool. Yeah, so true.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so often wrong, and that's why it can't be used in court, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
the reason they keep using it is because it's a way of you know, of them kind of showing that leakage of you know, what of guilt.
yeah. I want to show you guys something else, what other than what Dawn put in a box. And I think this lady is pretty accurate. So a lady called Dina Roberts calls in at 6:51, so 5 minutes before Sandra calls in. And she's saying she is a psychic and says the missing woman is speaking to her. Believes she is deceased, but it's possible that the girls are still alive. And that was the 15th at 6:51 a.m. RP asked if a recycle type plant is close to the house. Said the woman used the word recycle, or the word recycle is being said over and over, getting images of an open field, possibly behind the woman's home. Also seeing blue barrels, 55-gallon drums. Also seeing two males in overalls, unknown what type. Contact RP by phone if needed. So I found that pretty accurate. And I mean, that was on the 15th that she called in. But our theory was that the kids might have been alive in the beginning, you know, before, you know, we thought he killed them Sunday. But I'm torn between between these theories. Not that I believe in psychics or anything, but it is weird how close she came.
You know, I don't like those psychics. Those psychics are always very generic and they end by asking questions. In fact, it's not like that woman indicated the exact position. If
No,
she's
of course not.
if she's a psychic, then she have to be better. She has to be better to give information to the police. Otherwise, what is she telling us? Something about recycle. Of course, most often the bodies are dumped in a recycle bin or recycle container.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
With an open field behind the woman's home. Again, those
Yeah, that's
containers,
true. I
those
mean, yeah,
containers are behind.
but if you
So
read it for the first time, I think, but if you explain it like this, like they asking questions, kind of like rather than, explaining or answering them, it's true. Yeah. But I still found it pretty, two males in overalls.
yeah, so no, I will believe in psychics when they will indicate the exact place of a body being buried.
Mm-hmm. I mean, open field is right. Wasn't just behind her house.
50-gallon drums could be either, or the blue 55-gallon drums could be recycle bins, or
Or
they
the
also
tank.
store oil in 55-gallon drums.
Mm-hmm. And what else did you say? Where am I? Recycle.
Recycle.
Do you remember last live stream when we showed you the content of Chris Watts's bin in the
Mhm.
garage, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
To, I don't know, Water Guy and Troy McCoy. What do you mean by Water Guy? The water, the guy who sucked the water out?
I think she might mean the guy that was there when, was it Cody was looking for his wrench? Because
That was Troy.
Troy McCoy.
sorry, Troy. Yeah, when Troy was looking for the wrench and the water guy turns up. Is that what she's talking about?
That's the only water guy I know of.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Yeah, but I don't think he was involved in anything.
I don't think so
Oh
either.
no! I'm wondering why was she? What is it about the water guy? Because as far as I knew, that it was just, yeah, he turns up at the site.
The water truck driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he came forward, right?
Yeah, he
And
did. Yeah,
told
it was
them,
quite helpful. Yeah, it was quite
yeah,
helpful.
and told them that that he saw someone from Anadarko.
That's right. So that's when he saw Troy.
Right.
Who is Kim Connolly?
Who is Kim Connolly?
Yes.
Kim Connolly is Kim Connolly.
She's in chat.
She's the one that's saying water guy and TM Tanya.
Yeah.
I saw that, but just asking.
Yeah.
We've been getting a lot of new people in chat.
No, Kim was here before.
Oh,
Kim was here before. Okay, it starts raining, kind of like, and I'm losing my connection.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this is what I'm gonna turn my camera back on so you guys can see me. As a Christian, I think psychics get info from familiar spirits. But that's just my faith. I don't judge anyone else's beliefs. But I think NK and Co were involved in dark arts. That's right up Catherine's alley.
Oh, Lord.
She found
Yeah,
out
I've been
stuff
looking into a
too.
lot of dark things.
At the moment? Oh my God.
Have you been corrupted?
Well, I'm waiting to hear back from a couple people as far as my research goes. But one of the things I did come across just recently is, remember I had said about the henbane plant, which is also called a devil's breath plant. It's very highly potent plant, but the powder from these leaves and the flower itself can be placed on a patch. For example, a Thrive patch. And in the wrong doses, it can actually kill you. So this is leading me down another rabbit hole, because if you look at that mark on Chris's neck, the images that I've researched on the rashes that this can cause with the patches, and they do use them in the medical field for pain patches, this henbane plant in a low dose, but it causes a rash that leaves a ring around where the patch is. So it's like a red circle, which looks exactly like what Chris is saying is the mosquito bite on his neck. So again, I keep going down all these different channels on this whole religion thing.
Yeah, good for you though. And we do know, don't we, that NK, she knew about plants. She knew her stuff.
Well, I have been able to track a couple of the religious groups in the Denver area that are possibly connected to NK. I have been going through her phone records, and I know in the past she had called a spiritual advisor, but on her phone records, you can see that she has a number of calls to the spiritual advisor starting on Friday before that murder Monday.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's
yes.
interesting. Yeah, that is interesting.
And he is a cult leader.
Oh my God, be really careful though. Don't meet up with
get
anyone in a
involved
dark
with him.
place.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not. I've reached out to some investigators. Like Don said, we're trying to find some investigators to look into this. I've also reached out to a couple universities. I've reached out to a couple ex-members from these groups. And one of our members that's in chat, she's in the process of moving right now, but I'm looking forward to talking to her also.
Mm-hmm. Kim, what makes you think that the water truck guy has connections to Danielle? That would be interesting to know.
Yeah.
Or is there, any connection, of? Is what I'm asking.
Trying to see if she's going to reply.
Who
in chat.
sent NK to stalk CW? I think part of his plea agreement was not to tell his parents anything. Well, he didn't from the start. I think his lawyers already told him, or they kept. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
I
Hello.
think part of his plea agreement was not to tell. You gotta turn your.
Got it. Did I get it? Did I get
it? They must have known that Cindy would have talked to him, and she would probably have prevented him from taking that plea agreement.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you guys, my light is so bad. So that's why they wouldn't let anyone see him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Because they didn't see him. I mean, he wasn't getting their letters. He was literally kind of completely isolated from them altogether. And it's quite unheard of, isn't it? I don't know of another case, I don't think, where the family have been kept that much apart before trial. But then it all did happen really quickly as well.
Well, they didn't want Chris's parents to talk to him.
No, they did not.
Absolutely not. Yeah. And who sent Amanda to CW? That's a great question. Who sent Trent to CW? That's another great question.
All part of the circle.
I have the feeling, like personal observation, that everything is kind of connected.
I think this is
right?
a lot bigger than we think.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the rabbit holes I've been going down, I really agree with you, Kelly.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what you find out. Can you make
Well,
sure you need to keep in touch with me, because I need to know this stuff.
Of
oh,
course.
I keep in touch with TJ and our group constantly on stuff. So
Yeah,
yes,
it's just like another whole side that I haven't really kind of thought about too much.
I have to say it was almost set up like a military operation, and the scary thing is, if they're this skilled at what they're doing, they've done it before, and what's to stop them from doing it again? I'll leave
Wow.
it at that.
Absolutely, Catherine and Kelly, you guys have busted this case wide open in many ways. And I have watched and I have studied this case, and you both have uncovered a lot of stuff. That's all I can
Mhm.
say. So,
Yeah,
watching your videos. Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
You know, if it wasn't for Kelly, we would never have found when he said, what did he say? I already forgot. I cannot talk or I cannot say right now or
Can't
something.
discuss it at this time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes me think there's a lot more gonna happen.
Yeah. So the more we look, the more we go back and go through, the more we find.
Yep.
Yes.
But
Okay.
the more we know also, it just connects everything. And somebody said, oh, the airport footage, if there is somebody missing, especially a mom and her 2 kids, I don't know about you guys or how that all works really, but wouldn't be the first thing to interview her friends that's been with her in Arizona? And wouldn't it be also the very, very first thing to confirm, let's say, in a statement when she was questioned, by pulling the airport footage, if that's even true?
Absolutely.
Because
And can
we
I just say, do
cannot,
you know what, TJ? You know the
yeah,
footage of the police when they're giving the flyers out, to the people driving past? If you
yeah,
notice, as they're giving those flyers out, they keep saying over and over, "I'm missing, she's missing, she's missing." But what they don't keep saying is about the children. To me, it was really relevant. Like, you're saying, look up for this woman, she's missing. And I know that they're on that picture, but it's almost it. Do you understand what I mean? People would be looking. People needed to be looking for a woman and 2 children.
yeah,
And the narrative was, this woman's missing. Well, actually, no,
mhm,
it isn't just her, is it? There's 2 children out here as well. And you're giving out
right.
flyers, but you're not saying, the most important thing, which is she's got 2 young children with her, and they're missing.
Yeah, especially we don't see her or Shanann getting out of NA's car and walking in, right? We don't see that. So that is one more reason to pull that footage. I
Yeah,
don't understand why they didn't do it.
exactly.
In my opinion, it was a cover up and pre-planned, and that's
Oh,
my
definitely.
opinion.
Oh,
Definitely,
absolutely,
Catherine
Jen.
and Kelly have opened my eyes to see this in a different light. Is that,
Different,
if I can
yeah,
say that?
different way.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
And I mean, same with, he's saying, oh, we met up like lazy dog and that crap. You
BS.
guys, honestly, I do not believe that they went into the lazy dog. I told you the story about my work earlier, like a few weeks ago. There was a guy and he bought a gas can, right? This is just how memory of people works. He bought a gas can and he was asking some ladies I work with, where are, the car supplies and all that crap. So they showed him the car supplies and he went with a gas can. So next thing we know, a day or 2 days later, police came in and so this guy basically killed his children and his wife by lighting them on fire. Okay? Horrible. So anyway, 2 or 3 days, I can't even remember when it was. So it was this week. That happened on a Monday. During the week, the detectives came in and they could track the gas can to our store, right? So they asked that gas can, and is there anyone who can tell us anything about how that guy looked like, how he was behaving, what he said, blah, 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 because they have to reconfirm, right? They're not just saying, oh, it was you, because they need proof. So all my work colleagues remembered that guy. Everyone. Every single one of them could say, even if it was 2-3 days previously, he came in, he asked for car supplies, and we showed him around. Even how he appeared, what he had on, even. And this is just something that sticks in your head. So now I'm asking you, as I asked you before, do you really believe that Chris Watts was in the Lazy Dog with NK, killing his family after that, and not one of them, workers or servers in the Lazy Dog, does remember them? But it's international headlines. Their faces all over the news. I do not believe that he went into the Lazy Dog. Never. Because one person would have came forward saying, I served them. Or yeah, them two, they were here. Or is there cameras? No, cameras are not working, sorry. And no cameras worked. Like I counted 19 cameras on the main intersections and none of them were working. Are you kidding me? No, I don't believe that they ever were in the Lazy Dog. And the reason that didn't come out is because they didn't look, they didn't ask, and they did shitty police work. It is what it is. And anyone can say anything and them two Muppets, sorry, excuse my French, them two Muppets, Coda and Tammy Lee, going around educating people on the Watts case. Are you kidding me? What the heck did they find out? Nothing. Nothing. Shitty police work from the start. Now it's us, YouTube creators, finding all that shit out. And they standing on big stages talking about the case, knowing nothing about it. Right? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting angry.
We all get angry,
We
TJ.
do. I get
It's
like that too.
unbelievable.
But I actually
How
think there's more to it.
a blind person, or like Steve, my husband says, Stevie Wonder would see that she is involved. She is
Yep.
involved.
Hello.
She is involved, and that's my opinion.
Yes.
You
Who?
can say, oh, no, she's a victim. No, she's not a victim. What is she doing in Frederick the morning of? Seen by two people personally talking to me, telling me she was there. Her truck was there. They saw her truck. She was there. How does police know that where the kids were? Why are they going up to the tanks right away? Why is Troy McCoy saying in his interview, oh, you guys, I wanted, to help you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wanted to help you. That's why when you asked me, I brought you back to Survey. Why would he say that? Where is that phone call or that interview or the footage where he's out at Survey with investigators? Where is all that stuff?
Yeah.
And the most important question I have is why? Why? Why are they covering for her? I don't understand, or for him even. I don't understand.
Or them. Could be more than one. Could be more than two.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
I think they're still doing something.
You know, there are people calling in. I don't get it. There are people calling in saying, there's a truck. Something's not right. It's acting suspicious. And they
And
don't
what's
even
scary
call
is
this
they're
lady back.
I'm sorry. They're walking around and living their lives, and they've done this crime, and that's what the scary part of this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, Tanya, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No problem.
yes. Yes. There are people walking around that have done evil things, and that's the scary part of all of this.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, my opinion, I tend to thinking he did this. Yeah, he did this. Because I have some reasons to say he did this because of his behavior, his overall, I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form, but I've been talking to many, many people about this and people who know what they're talking about. And it's just like he absolutely, we tend to think he might not have been able to kill his children, right?
Right.
But what if you see it like he wants to get rid of everything that reminds him of her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So this guy, like I always said, was a ticking time bomb.
He really was. Because it
And
wasn't just about him eradicating his family. He wanted to literally destroy his whole life. The life that he had, he wanted none of it. None of it.
yeah. No, I do. He's definitely not innocent in this, but he's also not the poor Chris.
Right.
Like
Right. I
some
agree.
people portray him, right? He's
Mhm.
manipulative. I believe he remembers everything. He's just
Absolutely.
not saying anything.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
and John
Well,
said to me, oh, maybe it's worse than his parents would ever have thought it is.
And that's
maybe
what I
that's
think
the
too.
reason.
And
No,
that's
it's
always
not.
made me really laugh because, you know, when he keeps having these, like, you know, little mind lapses that he has and memory lapses, we're talking about a guy who can read off people's phone numbers, you know,
The
that,
Rain Man.
yeah, I mean, I
Mark.
don't know my phone number. Oh,
Neither do I.
yeah, honestly. So I don't get that. That makes that's rubbish. That's rubbish. You can't have it both ways, Chris. You know, when he sits in that interview room and he's asking him for the numbers, how many numbers did he reel off? Like on the bounce. I was like, God, Christ, that's impressive.
Yeah.
But maybe the thing is he's not allowed to talk about it.
I agree, Kelly. I agree.
Yes. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's it, isn't it?
Manipulated to do so. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Manipulated to do so. Also, you could call it brainwashed, maybe. But I think, you know, you guys we got to keep in mind, we did not know or don't know their relationship they had before everything occurred or before we know it. And that's March. We only see the videos they put out or she put out on her Facebook. So when we gotta believe or when we believe people saying she wasn't a nice person or she was bossing him around, right? Maybe it was the case. Who knows? Maybe she made his life a living hell for 8 years.
I'm sure.
Under
You
normal
know,
circumstances,
it's easy for a person who is mentally disturbed anyway already or mentally pressured. It's easier to be manipulated by somebody else. And I think when he met NK, he thought, brilliant, that's my way out. Could be possible.
Yeah, and it's funny, isn't it? Because I think they both had different needs. They were both looking for different things. I mean, I think Shanann saw him coming. He was a meal ticket for Shanann. Honestly, you know, she was in debt there and all the stuff with the house. You know, so I think she saw him as a meal ticket, and I think I think he did see her as a way out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she knew that.
Mm.
She knew that. And she wanted him. So I give you a boy and all that crap.
Yeah.
I
That, you
don't
know,
have social media. No, back in 2018 when it came out, when they publicized her name, of course she had social media.
yeah.
Who doesn't?
Bullshitter.
Days. Everybody
Gosh.
has social media. Come on.
Under
Well,
normal
I don't know.
circumstances, Chris Watts wouldn't have killed his kids, but he had a lot of pressure on him. You know, people have different opinions when they are under stress. Let's not take it as if his life was normal. He wanted a clean sheet of paper, a new life. He wanted to erase his past.
Absolutely.
He was promised a new kid from Nicole Kessinger, and all. Let's maybe it is far fetched what I will say, but maybe he didn't think his kids, his daughters, are his. Maybe he had his doubts. Usually, men kill their children when they think they are not his or theirs. One other thing is that everything, like Stanya said, everything that was related to Shanann made him even angrier. Also, it is very possible that their feeble health made him think that they are flawed. And why are they flawed? Because of Shanann. Maybe she had something bad in her. It is, you know, when you think only at normal people, it is hard to understand. But maybe even ourselves, when we are under a lot of stress, we tend to think very violent. Maybe if the opportunity would arise, I think people would kill if proper circumstances are met.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
let's try to think out of the box without. Let's put Chris Watts in the right context. There are very few people that saw his real life, his angry face. He was very dark. We know of one of them, and what she saw was very scary.
Yeah, and I think you're right. You know, he had a massive amount of pressure on him, on his shoulders. He must have been exhausted because he was doing everything.
Oh yeah, he did everything.
He did.
He absolutely did everything.
He really did.
And I mean, I don't know this family, but I think there was something going on before that. And I do believe to this day that North Carolina, for 6 weeks, she never did that before, ever. And I believe that this was some sort of trial to separation.
Oh, I do, absolutely.
And I do.
Yeah, the only beautiful thing that it was so lovely to see how those girls flourished, didn't they? I mean, they just,
Oh yeah.
Those 6 weeks, those girls, you know, Bella's hair grew. They looked
True,
the
yeah.
healthiest that I'd ever seen them. They were
Yeah.
splashing about on the beach. They were outside because with Shanann, it was always in the house. And these girls, they were
Yeah.
outside. They were, you know, their feet were in the sand and they were free. And it's so sad, you know, it's mixed because I'm so happy that they had that time and that they had those 6 weeks where they could just be children without the rain machines and the scheduling and the school and the, you know, the lengthy sleep times. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it was so lovely to see that. Yeah, sad but so lovely.
It was, yeah. Bella's hair grew. That was nice to
Yeah,
see.
she really grew up. There was a couple of photos of her, like I think
Yeah.
one with her legs crossed, kind of sitting all ladylike, and she looked so grown up.
Mm. Oh God, Bella.
I
Oh man.
know, bless them.
Not to get off subject, but TJ, didn't you ask Ronnie if the kids were baptized?
Yeah, they weren't.
And they weren't. Okay, I just wanted to
No.
confirm that. I'm going over my notes, and
Sorry, I forgot to tell you, didn't I?
I remember you bringing it
I
up.
got the answer like weeks ago. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I
It was just
totally
one of my
forgot.
questions I had in my notes.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Sorry. Yeah, she was looking at houses in North Carolina,
Yeah,
theorizing again.
I think it
What
was
if
that was
there
yeah.
was that?
I think that was definitely a trial. That was her trial period.
Yeah. What if she was actually with CM? Yeah. Let's say she
right.
was with him. She was looking for houses. He wouldn't leave his family. So she backpedaled
Was it
to him.
right? Was it right, TJ? Did CM live across the road from the Rusex?
From the cemetery.
No, from the cemetery.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay, right. So he was really local.
Yeah. He can, I believe he can see their graves even from his house or something like that.
Oh God.
So maybe if I was Chris, first thing I would want to know is Nico my kid? He doesn't want to know. He doesn't. He doesn't request any results. He doesn't talk about it. He just doesn't.
Well, the part
For
that
some
sparked
strange
me
reason.
is the records would have been released to the paternal grandparents. So why don't the Watts have that?
Exactly.
That's my big question.
And I think that was probably a trial. Maybe they knew of each other's affairs. We don't know. We don't know what. Then her talking to the divorce lawyer. It's also weird.
Yeah,
So
very.
weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but did Shanann, had she even been to the doctors? Was the doctor even aware that she was pregnant?
Say that again?
Well, I heard that she hadn't had any kind of appointments to do with the pregnancy for Nico, and that she hadn't even had. I know they said she was due to go to an appointment on the day they went missing, but up until that point, apparently I heard she hadn't had any actual appointments with her own GP.
No, she canceled everything.
She did, so that's right then.
Yeah. Canceled.
Yeah.
The only one she really went to was the 3D one where she got, or the 4D,
That's right.
where she got that image, that 4D image.
That was her
That
last
was the only one,
appointment.
other than the one when she found out she was pregnant.
So again, that's strange in itself.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're spotting, if you're, go to the doctor. And this might be unpopular, but I'm just gonna say it anyway because I'm tired of walking on eggshells.
Yeah, me too.
There's one text message she sends to Chris, and it says, and it always made me think, in the start, I gotta be honest, it made me think, did she do this?
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking differently. There was the text message. She said, would you stay with me if we didn't have kids?
Really?
Yeah, that was a text message. And I believe when he said previously, before she sent that text message, they were talking about kids anyway, and she, rants at her friends. Oh, he's just happy with Bella and Cece. He doesn't want another baby. Maybe that was, how do I put it without sounding offensive? Maybe let's put it just this way. Maybe she didn't want to be pregnant anymore.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at, and I've had those thoughts too.
It's just a very telling. Yeah, that was a very telling text message. But Chris always responded by saying he loves his girls. Right.
Yep.
He loves his girls. That's what he said. I'm happy with Bella and Cece, but I'm scared. I don't want. I mean, come on, you guys. In the situation where they couldn't even afford their butter on the bread.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sorry.
And he was already one ragged with 2 children. He didn't have time for another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another one, another $500 a week for preschool or what or kindergarten or where they were. Where are the knives exactly?
Well, then you've got to take into consideration too that, I mean, if he had divorced Shanann and she had 3 kids, she would have taken him to the bank.
Big time. Yes, no, like I said,
Oh wow, Bill BJ.
At her mental state at that moment, of course Sandra's gonna check the knives, because she was in a considering Nutgate and all that, like we talked about previously. Of course she's saying check the knives because she was at that very moment, nobody knew what she was going to do. She was distraught, she was angry at Chris, nothing went, like she was used to get her way, and
Absolutely.
this time she didn't. Oh my God, Bilby, thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Aw. And you know what? I'm telling you something. I'm gonna share that with my mods.
Oh.
Everything
No, you
that comes
won't.
in.
No, you won't.
I will.
No, that's
No, you
yours.
won't.
No,
Put it towards our private investigator when we
because this
find
is
one.
not only mine. This is like, I'm gonna just say it like AD does, a study group, like we study in private and then present it to you guys. So
I
We
have my
are
pen
a
and
team.
pencil. I have my paper and pencil.
Yeah.
We are a team.
what do we
Bank
say?
it for the private investigator once we
A
find
big
it.
pad and a little pen.
I have
like the
Post-it
IKEA
notes.
pens.
I can't even find my notebook.
What's that?
I can't find
And
my
enough
notebook.
books.
It's so little.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like when you get your nails done and you go to IKEA, it's like holding, do I have a pen? It's like half the size, like this, and you try to balance it between your 2 fingernails, kind of like.
Dawn,
We've
you were
all
going to
been
say
there.
something?
Sorry.
So I was saying that aside of pens and papers, we have a lot of socks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Me and my crew, the sock's gonna be blown off.
Yay, I'm ready.
I don't even wear them
I'm
anymore.
ready.
I'm done.
I'm ready to have my socks blown off.
And yes, indeed, we need money to hire private investigators.
Yes.
So we should collect some
Bank it.
money.
Yep.
I love you
Yeah.
guys. Amen.
We gotta just check out. We had that in mind for a long time. You remember?
Yes. Yes. We've been discussing it for quite a while.
Yeah. But some good private investigators, they take like $500 an hour and more.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta look into this. I think we gotta specify what we want to get out of this. And if you guys can suggest any, always saw, I saw Mr. Smith a lot, the private investigator, Mr. Smith. If somebody can just email me, I know I'm not, I rarely reply to emails, and I'm so sorry, you guys, but I'm too busy. I need a secretary who's doing my emails.
A male secretary or a female?
Don, you could actually do that.
Oh gosh.
No.
But I don't want to see my emails on anyone's channel. No, just joking. Yeah, send me if you know someone, or if you have connections to someone, just send me an email, and we're looking into this, because this is what we're gonna do. It's going so slow, way too
Kim
slow.
Connolly made a good suggestion, a GoFundMe for a private investigator, but I don't know if we want to go the GoFundMe route. There's every time channels do that, they get so scrutinized for it.
I know, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's like you're almost setting yourself up for, with all that kind of haters.
Well, back then I donated all of my super chat and that stuff, but I don't, regretting it would be the wrong way to word it. But now, we could really use that money for, making a start on the private investigator, is what I'm thinking.
Yep.
So maybe we just, use that money, so super chats or whatever.
I mean, maybe we could come up with something different, like I don't know, like do like a raffle night, or I'm sure if we kind of thought about it a little bit, we could come up with a way that we could kind of raise money and have a little bit of, I don't know. Yeah,
I'm not a friend of GoFundMes, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's not that we wouldn't provide receipts or anything like that, but it's just so much bashing when channels do that.
It's opening a whole new can of worms at that point. Yes, you don't want to. Yes, that's not what you want to do. You're gonna have to go around.
We're not in for this for monetary gain or anything like that. We want justice.
Yeah. It needs to be slyly done, like under the silently somehow. Yes.
Yeah. I donated a lot to Adventures with Purpose back then as well. And I wanted to do a live stream on this, but then I decided not to. Just to address the situation real quick that's been going on. I could say I told you so, because this guy was always shady to me, and all my moderators know how I felt about this. I'm not saying they're not doing a good job. They're doing a brilliant job finding missing people and bring closure to their families. But the way they did it was something that kind of like shocked me. It's normal that, they need the money for equipment and stuff like that, but they exploited Kylie Rodney so much that it's unreal.
Oh, yeah.
And for them to come up with somebody who saw Kylie a day after, just to fit the narrative, so they can cash in even more, to fit the narrative that this must have been foul play because somebody saw her a day after. So where's the guy now? Right? Nobody ever talks about this right now. Why did they lie to you
Mhm.
guys? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to address this, I didn't like him from the start. There was something about him. I don't want to say any names, but not Doug, but there was something about this guy I didn't like. Always, if you get the first feeling when you see somebody talking or acting, and the fakeness,
Yeah.
like I said, not that they didn't do or doing good. They doing good, and people need to donate and all that. But what they did with Kylie Rodney, that was just
Oh, it was
ridiculous.
awful. It was awful. I made like just a little short, just like my message, because I kind of, I've been supporting them, and yeah, I was so mad. I was so angry. So I just did like a really little small short, just directed at Jared, just to say, look, this is how I feel. But oh my God. But yeah, his face was too robbery. I knew it. I knew there was something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Wow. Yeah. So we're definitely gonna talk about this whole thing. And like I said, if you know any private investigators who might be interested in, check. We're looking into everything you guys send. So
Yeah.
even though you might not get a reply like on the spot, but we're definitely gonna look into all of your suggestions. And yeah, with that being said, I hope I pull through the week.
Yeah. Good luck. Good
Thank you.
luck. Yeah. I'm actually gonna drop. I'm gonna jump down now because I'm absolutely shattered. So forgive me tonight because I've been a little bit I'm not kind of like 100%. I've just got over.
No, you're fine. You're
Um,
absolutely fine. No worries.
Yeah, but it's been really good to be up here with you all, and yeah, I wish you all the luck this week. You'll rock it.
Thank you. I
I know
hope I
you
will.
will. Yeah, of course you will. So yeah,
Thank you
thank you
so much for.
everybody. Thank you everyone in chat, and obviously
Thank you.
all your lovely
Thank you.
smiles.
Bye.
See you later.
Good night.
So yeah, I hope I pull through. I don't know if I can go live next week. The test is on Friday, so I will be getting the results on Monday. That means the whole weekend I'm in the limbo. But this is gonna be the worst weekend of my life.
You'll be fine.
Yeah,
Do
but
great.
yeah,
You're gonna
once
do
this is
amazing.
done, we'll be golden, you guys.
Yes.
We'll be golden babies.
Amen.
All right.
Okay, I'm not going to put this in chat, but I do want to say, please, everyone, hold your loved ones close, and remember that a minute of hate is a minute of joy even in life, and tomorrow is never promised.
Absolutely. And
Amen.
with that being said, you guys, I wish you a great rest of your Sunday. Stay safe, stay out of drama. That's the most important thing. And look after yourself and your family. It's nothing more important than that. Righty?
Exactly.
We love
Okay.
you, TJ. We love you.
Love you too. See you all later, babes.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Hang in there.
Bye.
We're gonna rock this. Bye.